Alright guys, welcome back. We are watching Sousou no Frieren Season 1, Episode 23. Last time, we had our day off after the first part of the exam. Hung around with a bunch of the, bunch of the other test takers. I am curious what the second part of the exam is going to be. I see that we're at the ruins of the king's tomb, so that's interesting because we got a little bit of sense. Her saying she said she was a pacifist, right? And they said that the exam that she's proctoring, which is this part of it, no one has ever passed before. So I wonder what it is going to entail exactly. We should watch 2 episodes today. That is the plan. I think we are gonna watch 2. We will probably just watch them back to back and then do like discussion stuff afterward for both episodes. I think that'll be easier, probably. So that's the plan. So let's get started. We're watching season 1, episode 23. You can line your copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. The King's Tomb. I like her voice. It's true. We've already seen that. Yes, yes. Or spread them themselves, perhaps. Right. If you say so, but no one has ever passed it before. Interesting. Anyone who wishes to be a first-class mage should pass it with ease. So then how does she justify the fact that no one has ever passed it, right? That all those people didn't really want to be first-class mages? I wonder. I'm just reading the lyrics. I haven't read them in a while. I'm always talking during the opening. I wonder how many of these characters are going to be, like, reoccurring throughout the rest of the story, you know? There's so many characters in this arc. Such a good opening. Conquering the Labyrinth. Ooh, we're doing a bit of a... Alright. Yeah, a dungeon raid. How much experience does Frieren have with that, I wonder? Okay. This doesn't sound that simple. Right, that's what she said. Oh, okay, okay. So no fighting amongst themselves, I suppose. No reason to... She's not the one who fails them? They fail themselves, perhaps. Oh, of course. I see, I see. Quite the attitude to have. Will she be waiting there? Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if she can do it so easily, right? God, she can control her hair. An escape golem. I see. Like an escape rope in Pokemon? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Because how many people, I wonder how many people would not want to shatter it, even if they're in a situation where they like should, because they want to be a first class mage that bad, I guess, right? People are willing to die for it. Interesting. I can't help but feel like there's more to that, but I wonder, maybe not. So they're not really enemies in this part of the test, right? That's interesting with what Levine said to Frieren, right? They could all work together and it would be fine, right? Of course, the idea would be they might want less people around for the next part of the test. Interesting. Ooh, yeah. Hmm. Seems like people still are grouping up, yeah. Verbal was with his old group still. Ooh, oh, I see. So for him, it's like the other way around. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. You would think that he would want to stick with him if he said he's knowledgeable about dungeons, right? Huh. I feel like that can't be the right attitude to have. Sure. Okay. Okay. It's interesting I mean, people are working together, just they all are still like fractured into groups like this, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, seems like it. You probably work with Con and Levine, right? Come on. Ooh. I wonder what she thinks of Frieren, huh? Oh, really? Okay. And that's something that even she's worried about. Hmm. Like, I wonder if she is able to reach the bottom by herself or not, you know? Even with how many times, assumedly, she's done it for this part of the test. Okay. Taking the safest route. Ooh. Fancy magic map. I see, I see. It seems pretty tranquil down here. Oh, maybe not. Oh, lots of experience, I assume. Yeah, yeah. He loved them. Yeah. Well, I guess he loved dungeons. Okay, okay. Hmm. Oh, he wants to fully explore the whole thing. He's a completionist. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. Exactly. Exactly. No, that's how it works. Come on. I bet Friren's someone who would want to go straight to the bottom. Well, it's like that for now. Yeah. That's how it happens. Hmm. Right, right. Come on. I wonder if they found one or not. Hmm. Wonder what all those statues are of. Who those people are. They still haven't entered. Yeah. Wonder if they're let down that they aren't with Frieren. I don't know. They'll be fine, I'm sure. I'm surprised Richter stayed here. Yeah. Hmm. I suppose. I suppose. Okay. Well, don't like I think we're gonna be cutting to Freerun and a mimic in a moment, but I will see about that. But they're gonna run into Freerun stuck in a mimic. Oh god. I didn't think of yeah. I didn't think about that. This is where her mimic problem came about. God, Sense is gonna think she's so stupid. Oh, of course. There's a 1% chance. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly, exactly. Very wise, very wise. Yeah, it feels fine, right? Come on. Uh-huh, uh-huh. I'm sure, I'm sure. Right. Like, how... How does that even happen? I... Thank you. Thank you. Look at their faces. Like, you would think she would get used to it at this point, too, right? Like, you would think after all of this, the number of times she's been in a mimic, I guess she can't help, right? You would think at this point, at least, she would be used to being eaten by them, but not even that, huh? Ooh. Oh, God. It is dangerous, huh? Just a bunch of traps. Oh, God. Or there's something here that ate them. I don't know. I wonder. We haven't really seen any, like, creatures down here, though. Oh. Maybe I spoke too soon, huh? Oh. Gargoyles. God, the way they, like, don't make any noise, because they're made out of stone, I guess. It's, like, unsettling. And I guess there's, like, a weird noise, but, you know. They're not, like, screeching, like you might expect from the way they look. Oh, wow. Very nice. Very impressive. She's fast. Oh. Oh, God. Okay. Wow. I... Did they even see what happened to her? I hope. Or I hope she can get out somehow. Okay, yeah. Okay. I don't kill her. Oh, not even close. Yeah. Oh, I guess. I guess. Ah, but does she want to? Okay. I guess. Oh. Ah. She did it, though. She didn't die. She didn't die for it. Better to be alive and not a first-class mage than dead, right? God, yeah. Brutal. Okay, how are we not out yet? Just pick up the mimic and carry her with it. Like, come on. The Fern seems like she isn't even trying. It's sure. Let me hear it. Just leave her here. She'll be okay. Okay. I guess. If you say so. You know what? Was it worth it for the 1% chance? Maybe. Maybe. No, I think the 1% chance is worth it. You know what? I agree with her. Thematically. Nice. Oh, okay. I see. I see. It looks good. Come on. Ridiculous. Ooh, two ways to go. Up, I suppose? Good idea, good idea. It's another mimic. No, it's not. Okay. Interesting. God, Frieren looks so excited. Of course, of course. Gotta explore the whole floor. Yeah, 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 yeah. God. Yeah. So I wonder, actually, is this not... There's calling it an unexplored dungeon. So is this not the same one that Sense normally does the exam at, right? Look at all their goodies. Very impressive. Ooh, really? Wondering why... Ooh, no passion or determination, really? I wonder. She certainly doesn't think magic is important for magic's sake, I suppose. Hmm, yeah. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that at all. Hmm. She sure does. And it was fun, right? Yeah, yeah. Seeing her have fun with it at the very least. Yeah. Which, that's a very good reason, frankly, to do anything. How is Frieren even carrying around all of this junk? Ooh, interesting. Hmm. Since his attitude about all of this is interesting, right? Because it seems like she does share kind of like the haughtiness of the idea of being a first-class mage. Ooh. And put so much importance in that title. What was that? Sure has. How far down are these three? Ooh. Oh. That's just like his spell. Google? But why? Oh. Yeah, yeah. Oh. Oh god, the like texture on that looks crazy. Has to be Ubel, right? Oh. Oh, like stone versions of themselves, I suppose, right? Like the gargoyles? It like copies you? Oh, okay. You have to fight yourself. Interesting. That is very interesting, actually. Yeah. Huh. Oh god. What will it mean for Frieren to fight herself, huh? Yeah, evenly matched, right? It's like you... It's almost like... It feels like you need multiple people here, right? Because if you're alone, how do you beat yourself? It's like a perfectly even matchup, right? Oh. God, she is scary. There we go. There we go. Interesting. Yeah. Terrifying magic, right? Crazy that that's possible. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The fact that it copies, like, everything. Yeah. Me neither. Me neither. Sure. True. True. Hmm. Yeah. How did the dungeons work, though, right? Like, could the spell have been cast by someone a long time ago? Or is it someone actively controlling it now? Okay. Okay. Ooh. Is this it? Certainly looks like a very final type of room. Is this the boss, I suppose? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. What? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. Oh, thank God we're watching 2 episodes, huh? No, we're just going right into the next one. We're literally immediately just going to the next one. Um oh god. I didn't think okay, okay, okay. I thought like every group is gonna have to individually fight like themselves, right? But no, it's just I guess the spell just like took the most powerful person in the dungeon and was like, okay, she's the final boss now. Like, oh god. Oh god. Frieren, huh? We we have no idea how powerful Frieren really is, right? Like, compared to other people, like for real, you know? Although I guess I wonder if what Jenkins said is true, and the clone is so perfect to the point that it like copies even memories and like attitude, mannerisms, that kind of thing. Um, I wonder if this clone of Frieren maybe won't be quite as terrifying as it could be, just because it might be like Frieren in a way, right? And obviously it's like, Frieren doesn't run around killing people. But I mean, we still have to fight it. So I don't know. I don't know. Oh god. Jesus. Everyone's gonna die. What are they gonna do? Hmm. Well, I hope everyone is going to that same spot, right? I hope everyone is going to that same spot. They're all gonna kind of reconvene at the bottom around there, and they're gonna, I don't know, come up with a plan to not all die to the Frieren clone. That's my hope. Okay, we're just going to the next episode. So yeah, we'll discuss both of them after. So hey, we're watching episode 24 now. You can line you and copy up with this. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Hmm. Because I thought just the idea of having to fight yourself in some way is obstacle enough, right? But oh god. I mean, for Frieren, this will be very interesting, right? I guess I assume there's only one of them. I assume there's not going to be multiple Frieren clones, right? It is interesting that Denkin says that. That he is in some way, like, going against his better judgment to not shatter the bottle. Even him, right, with his attitude about being a first class mage. But I guess, like, the interesting thing about that for him, of course, is he wants to be a first class mage for like personal, meaningful reasons. Like, go to his home village, right? Which is very different than like people's attitudes, like that one male instructor guy, whatever his name was. So with a G, I always forget it. Who seems so haughty and like so, his attitude about what it means to be a first class mage is so like, I don't know. It's not very personal. He just puts a lot of weight into the idea of being a first class mage in and of itself. Hmm. God, this might have been the best episodes for me to pick to have like two back to back, right? This really just feels like a perfect continuation. I guess that's the nice part about this part of the show too, is it's like less. If this was like the more like episodic part of the show, where it's like every episode kind of had its own like contained like arc little bit to it, it'd be harder to do multiple episodes because there'd be so much to say about every individual episode. Okay. God, like how would Sense even have dealt with a free run clone at the bottom alone? Ooh, okay. The Lord of the Dungeon. Oh, have we heard that name? I swear we have. That looks like Fern. Ah, I see, I see. Oh, right, right. But much less powerful, yeah. I wonder what dungeons like even are, you know? Right, right. Yeah, yeah, it's like the teamwork element is like required. So it's something that seems very important to her then, right? Yeah, yeah. It's also interesting. It plays into the idea of pacifism too, like you're fighting yourself in a way. Oh god. It's gonna be basic attack magic. Oh god. Yeah. Oh, this isn't fair at all. What are we gonna do? God, you gotta be careful. Frieren is very good at, like, curving her magic. I wonder if it will attack you when you're outside the room or not, though, or if it's just gonna wait there. What's up, Ubel? Ooh, he is injured. Oh. She has it. True, true. He is a cloner. Yeah, you're not gonna be understanding him very well if you're not even calling him by his name. That's one of yours, right? If she breaks it? Seems like it. that's, that's not much of an answer. I mean, it plays into her whole thing, right? Yeah, yeah. It seems so unemotional. Ah. Oh, God, yeah. Which is a very good bargaining chip in a way if it's that intelligent, right? Because if it breaks it, don't you lose, right? Oh, okay. But does it also have that spell? I guess people would know, right? Oh, he is really bleeding. Yeah. Hmm. Unless this is a clone. Of course, of him, right? Yeah, exactly, right? I guess you never know. Interesting. I'm sure she doesn't think she needs it. Oh god, okay. How do you fight yourself, huh? Oh god. Right, right. Uh, pretty significant weakness of it, right? You're too close. Ah. Huh. Just the exact same, right? I suppose, yeah, circumstances outside of just skill or anything, right? Always been unlucky. Oh, interesting. Hmm. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, was it now? Oh, it was a clone, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh. Need two people. Need two people for it. No kidding. No kidding. Ooh, that effect on it. Oh, because it was a clone. He cloned everything. Right. God. Interesting. Yeah. Did you? Well, she was right. Hmm. Who does? I see, I see. Oh, getting closer and closer, huh? Will you ever truly understand him, though? Yeah. Very interesting. Hmm. Ooh. More statues. Well, we've got to clear the whole floor first. Come on. Or is there a secret entrance or something? Seems like she thinks so. Yeah. How can you tell? God. What if there just isn't? She's just wrong? Ooh, yeah, yeah. I can see what she means. There's room for it, right? On the map. Well, there might not be though. There doesn't have to be. Is that your only reason for thinking this? Oh. Okay, okay. Oh god. All right. What would be inside, I wonder? Hmm. She looks so smug. How do these candles stay lit forever, huh? Magic is the answer. I already know. Ooh. Interesting. Ooh. Yeah, beautiful. Is this interesting? Does Frieren find it exciting, I wonder, or is she let down? Fern certainly does. And would Frieren enjoy it? Yeah, just because Fern thinks it's cool, right? Hmm. Very, very. Oh, it's like the echo effect. Oh yeah, yeah. They are at a loss. Yeah, there's a clone of you in there. There's a bit of an obstacle. Ooh, that thing. Oh God. It sure is. It sure is. Interesting. Making you fight yourself. Hmm. Can a replica really be perfect? I wonder. Yeah, I guess. Hmm. I mean, its big weakness is being alone, right? I suppose. Is there anything you aren't resistant to? I don't know. Hmm. I mean, because like you would think logically that she would be able to defeat herself with some amount of help, of course, right? Okay, interesting. Some kind of Supportive magic? Oh, okay, okay. Fern's jealous. God, she's so tall. Ooh. Interesting, yeah. Okay, okay. Ooh. Is she the, like the pink-haired? Do we know her name? I don't remember. Oh, that have minds. And yeah, the question is whether or not the replicas are copies to that level. Fern, you gotta stop being so overprotective. Come on. Yeah, is that her? It is. Okay, okay, yeah. Oh, is it a copy of Sense? Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Man. That's so much worse than having to fight themselves. Okay. Most people are not very experienced, yeah. Right, right. Makes sense, makes sense. Of course. Yeah, what kind of abilities? Layers of magic cast on its hair. Hmm. I guess being able to control your hair as like a weapon is pretty powerful, right? You always have it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotta be very, yeah, I mean, depending on how precise you can control it, right? Gotta be unimaginable. Does that mean it's undefeatable? She is quite the pessimist, huh? Really? Wow. Huh. She seemed so, I don't know. Her attitude in the first exam. Right, the hypnosis, yeah. Hmm. Would be better than nothing. But that might be, oh yeah, assuming it has a mind, and even that would be dangerous in and of itself, right? 15 seconds. Oh god. Okay. Man. Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay. 15 seconds. Come on. Make you use all your mana? Or, yeah, or to, like, literally get through it like that. Yeah, yeah. Or just, like, a battle of attrition, right? Oh. I guess That can work, yeah. Not gonna hold. Oh, God. Right, that's quite the advantage, huh? Oh, no way. You really dead? No minds. Okay, okay. I hope she can get out. Oh. Oh, very, very. God, the golems are scary. Oh, I hope she's okay. I hope she doesn't die for it. Hmm. I mean, even then, she was still willing to use it, right? So, I mean, she wanted to in the first place, right? Alright, how are they doing? How are these two doing, I wonder? Ooh. All alone. Oh, he being all alone. Gonna be rough. Yeah, it doesn't have a mind. We can't just hypnotize it. She looks excited. Hmm. I wonder how the mana that the clones have works, right? Like, do they have the same amount of mana? Could we exhaust the Frieren clone of mana somehow? But she has so much mana, right? That it's like, but we have a Frieren too, so I don't know. I wonder. But if it itself is a spell, then you would think the mana is coming from outside of them, right? Hmm. I guess this is showing us like the effectiveness of like a physical defense, right? I see. Man, it's quite the battle. They both have like their fortifications. Oh, the ceiling. Interesting. Ooh, that work? Interesting. Brute force. Okay, I suppose. I may be able to kill her. Alright. Oh god. Man, I didn't think we were gonna get a double cliffhanger. Now I want to watch another one. I probably shouldn't, though. Hmm. God damn it. Man, I'm really weighing my options here. I just don't think I should. I don't think I have time. Ah, man. I should have known, right? I should have known that, of course, if we didn't wrap it all up in this episode, yeah, we're just gonna have another one. Like, come on. Ah, I'm loving this arc. I'm loving this part of the test. Oh, it's good. I like it. I like it. Hmm. I feel like the cast of characters we have for this arc is interesting. I just wonder, like, there's so much I want to know about all of them. I feel like there's no way we're gonna have enough time for me to like be I don't know. Not that I'll be dissatisfied, but I just wish I could have so much about all of these characters, you know? And I just know we don't have enough time for that. Okay. We'll talk about the episodes in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episodes. We got two of them. Thankfully, they're pretty much, they're pretty much continuations of each other, so it doesn't really feel like, it just feels like one big long episode, right? Pretty easy to group them together in a discussion, I think. We are dungeon crawling, which is something that I feel like people always relate to like D&D. And I've never played D&D at all. I mean, it's literally in the name, right? Dungeons and Dragons, right? I've never played D&D at all. My only exposure to like dungeon fantasy stuff is like video games, I guess. But I'm even struggling to think of like games I've played that I like relate it to. I guess what it really makes me think of is like the Binding of Isaac, but like that's not really that's a very that's that has a like dungeon structure, but it's very different from like what we're doing here, obviously, right? When Frieren was talking about like the hidden room, that makes me think of Binding of Isaac, right? Like for sure. Um, but like outside of that, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else I've even played or like experienced, I guess, that has like this kind of dungeon structure, like thing, this idea, because it is like such a like an omnipresent just thing in like fantasy media, the idea of a good old dungeon. And I mean, I'm down with it. It's very cool. It makes me wonder in this universe, like, what is a dungeon exactly? Because God, they were talking about like the history of this dungeon specifically, right? The God, yeah, Spiegel, right? The monster in the bottom of the dungeon, right here. Let me read this, right? Yeah, the Lord of the Dungeon, Spiegel, the Water Mirror Fiend. So I guess there's like a monster, a Lord of the Dungeon, controlling all of this. Who casted this spell? Oops, I just started playing. Who casted this spell that's like doing the stuff with the clones? Um, from a mythical era that appears in Ewig the Sage's heroic tales. We have definitely heard that name before, haven't we? Ewig the Sage? Or am I crazy? I swear we have. Um, I would want to look it up to make sure I'm not crazy, but I don't want to get spoiled, so I can't. But I swear to God we've heard that name before. Either way, whatever a dungeon is in this universe, I guess there's a lord of it. There's a monster from a mythical era. um, it reads the memories of those who enter the dungeon and creates perfect replicas of its targets. Uh, which obviously the idea of fighting yourself, fighting a clone of yourself, is so there's so much you can do with that as an idea, right? Something I kind of like latched onto there at the end when they were talking about, or near the end when they were talking about what the weaknesses of the Frieren clone could be, because of course that is the one we are fighting is a clone of Frieren herself, which is gonna be rough, huh? When they were talking about like the strategy they could use to try and take it down. um what I immediately thought about, a weakness that it has, of course, is that it's alone, right? It doesn't have other people with it, right? Which, like, for Frieren as a character is obviously, like, so relevant and makes so much sense, I guess, right? That Frieren herself obviously has such a unique relationship, has so many unique struggles with, like, forming bonds with other people and all of that, and, like, the strength she gets from other people is so, like, so clear and so obvious for her as a character now, right? That the fact that this clone is alone and is only Frieren and doesn't have anyone else, like, of course, the key to it is gonna be other people, right? Fern, right? Fern herself said she has a plan to kill Frieren, so sounds good, right? Like, that's gotta be it, that has to be the weakness, is that she is alone. Um, so I'm trying to think, like, other than that being, like, obviously a pretty, like, meaningful thematic thing in and of itself, right? The fact that the clone is alone, so therefore we can defeat it. What else could it mean for Frieren to fight herself in some sense, right? For her to have to take on herself. Um, obviously, what it makes me think of is, like, Frieren's like attitude about relationships and like just the way she lived her life for so long, so isolated, and her attitude about like Himmel and all of that, like before his death and everything. Obviously, it was kind of like self-inflicted in a way. It's like self-destructive behavior, right? Like she is afraid of relationships, or she was afraid of relationships because of the idea of them ending, because of people just dying. She doesn't want to face that kind of those emotions. And it led her to the horrible place she was in at the end of episode one, right? Just the feeling of her relationship with Himmel not having gone where it wanted. And it comes from like within herself, right? So it's like this like self-destructive behavior like for her own relationships, right? Which reminds me of the idea of like fighting yourself in a way, right? Like fighting yourself as a clone. And I guess of course that kind of goes hand in hand with the idea of the fact that the only way she's going to defeat herself is with the help of others, with the help of Fern, right? Which, yeah, I mean, makes perfect sense, makes complete sense. I wonder if more specifically when they actually fight, like how that will go down exactly. Um, if there will be, I'm sure there will be more to that, right? I'm sure there will be more to that, and like how specifically, what specifically you could say Frieren fighting herself as a clone like represents in that case, Hmm. It's a perfect recreation, then its weakness. Yeah, yeah, this is the line, right? Should be the same as the flesh and blood version. And they try to think of all like these ways to get around it so easily, and I guess it's just not that simple. Restraint magic, hypnosis magic. Hmm. Not that easy. They're gonna have to fight it. I wonder what the plan is. What is the thing that Fern came up with, I wonder, right? I don't do we have any idea at all? Brute force. In that case, I may be able to kill Mrs. Frieren, which is such a God, such a line coming from her, huh? Um, I don't know. They've come to the idea that brute force is what they have to use, so that gives Fern an idea. What would her idea be? What would she think? Um, what do we know? What do we know about Fern and Frieren? We know Frieren has complimented Fern before and said that she's able to like cast spells faster than Frieren herself is able to, which would of course extend to the clone as well, right? That's something that we know Fern is like better at Frieren than. But how can they use that? How can they abuse that in some way to actually beat the clone? Um, because again, if it's Frieren, I mean, it has effectively infinite mana, assuming it copies. Yeah, that's the interesting question. Does it copy Frieren's mana capacity, or because it itself is a spell, is the mana being used from some external source? Unclear, I guess. Um, Either way, if this mana is coming from an external source, it probably has a lot of it. So it's trying to exhaust its mana probably like won't work, right? Um, So what would Fern be able to use? What would Fern be able to do that would be able to defeat her? I wonder. I don't know. Obviously, Fern has practiced and trained with Frieren a lot. She knows Frieren the best out of anyone, of course, right? So I guess that is interesting how like the thing that Frieren has feared or feared in the past from forming close relationships with people like Fern is like the like she has to open herself up like emotionally, right? She has to open herself up emotionally, and then when that relationship ends, she like it hurts her a lot, right? And it always ends up ending because she outlives them all, right? Um so it makes sense that like vulnerability, that like emotional vulnerability that she has through having a relationship with Fern, it makes sense that Fern would be the one who literally like would be able to kill her, would be able to exploit this weakness, this vulnerability, whatever it is. I guess I don't know what her plan would be at all. If it really makes me think that the idea that Fern is the one who can cast off spells so quickly, right? They specifically mentioned that all those episodes ago. That has to be part of it. I just don't know. I don't know what that would be. I guess I would think that with how many people they have here, with like the giant group of people they have, how many people are there, right? Sense isn't helping, I guess, but we have what? We have like 5 people. Richter's here too, right? 6. Um you would think with just 6 people all shooting spells from different directions at Frieren at once, at the clone Frieren at once, to be able to like overwhelm her and beat her, but I guess that'd be very dangerous because she can just like destroy you instantly. So I would think like if I had to come up with a strategy for this, I guess I would think that Frieren herself would be like on defense duty almost because she is the one with the giant mana capacity that can keep up with defense for hopefully the longest and keep everyone from dying. Um, But again, what it makes me think of, what I was something I was thinking of during this episode too, is like how we've talked before about the dynamic between defensive and offensive magic, and how it's like this arms race, basically. How as offensive magic develops, that makes defensive magic develop more too, right? In order to counter that offensive magic. I guess I just wonder when there's someone like Frieren who is at such a such a powerful mage who's so like at the very the highest up point of magic, right? She has it all, right? Like if anyone is on the cutting edge of magic, I suppose it would be Frieren in a way, right? Um, I wonder like how balanced the interplay between those two things are, right? Like what if for Frieren, if she's truly going all out, offensive magic, the power of the offensive magic she can muster is much more powerful than the defensive magic she can muster, right? Or something like that, right? It really makes you wonder, like, because it's like for like common use, I imagine they probably stay around similar power, but who knows for someone like Frieren, right? Which is a scary thing, which is a very scary thing. And we know Frieren herself too. She seems just naturally more focused on the idea of offensive magic, just because she's developed it so much just for like killing demons, right? That's kind of the purpose of it for her in a way, right? So I don't know. It makes me worry that this Frieren clone's offensive magic might be far too powerful to just defend against, which that in and of itself, if that is the way it would end up, which I mean, we're on like three hypotheticals at this point. um, that in and of itself, I feel like could have some interesting meaning, right? With what magic you could say it represents, like in the story at large, you know. But I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right? When we see how this battle actually goes down, right? Um, let's talk about sense because I think she's interesting. So the test that she's doing here, so I guess I'm unclear on this exactly. This is this the same dungeon that she always does? Or does she do a different one every time? Because they keep saying that this dungeon is completely unexplored. So I guess this can't be the same one that the test that everyone always fails goes to. Um, but if it's not, if this isn't the same dungeon, I guess what I'm trying to say is they said the tests that she proctors, no one has ever passed it before. Um, and I guess I just assume that this is the exact same, that it's always to go down into this dungeon, this exact dungeon. But maybe it isn't because they keep saying the dungeon's completely unexplored and blah 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 blah. And I guess if Sense had ever been to the bottom of the dungeon before, then like would this monster thing making the clones even be there anymore? So I guess not. I guess if the test is always something similar to this, then it's probably a different dungeon every time or something. But then that just surprises me so much that she's able to be so confident, I guess, in everyone's abilities, right? Like, what if this dungeon was crazy? What if there was no way anyone could reach the bottom? You know, I guess from her point of view, if she even if she doesn't know anything about this dungeon because she's never been into it, you know, it truly is completely unexplored. It wasn't what was used for the previous tests that she proctored. I guess it makes sense with her attitude about magic. She certainly seems to be the kind of person who thinks that magic makes anything possible. I mean, that's literally what she says, right? Is first class mages have to make the impossible possible. So maybe that's what she wants. Maybe she wants it to be impossible in that sense, you know? At the same time, her attitude about magic and being a first class mage, considering what she says to like Frieren, she seems satisfied with Frieren's attitude about magic in a way, right? About her determination to explore the dungeon, find grimoires, all of that, right? She seems satisfied by it, right? She says that maybe she actually did choose the right group to go with all along, right? Um, so she doesn't seem like someone who is as like conceited, I guess, about the idea of being a first class mage as that other test proctor guy was, who I have forgotten the name of every time. At this point, I'm never gonna remember his name. But you know, the other guy that she was talking to during the first part of the exam, right? Um, he seems so like I guess just full of himself and full of the idea of what it means to be a first class mage and like the power that that title itself bestows upon you rather than the idea of the magic itself being something important, right? Or maybe not even the magic itself, maybe just whatever it is that makes you pursue that magic, I guess, right? Which is kind of the attitude that Fruin and Fern have, you know. um Goes back to the, you know, maybe just the best episode, that it didn't have to be magic, you know. Um So her attitude is interesting. It is very interesting. She still seems like someone who, well, I don't know. She's still playing into it in an interesting way, where it seems like she still seems to value the idea of being a first class mage so highly. Um, to the point of like, well, I don't know. What I was gonna say is it's like she seems to accept the idea that people are willing to like die for it, right? And that just being, but I guess what's interesting is that's just kind of the way it is, right? People just literally are willing to die die in some cases to be a first class mage, right? Um so of course that in and of itself does grant the idea of it a lot of meaning, you know. I don't know. I can't decide. I can't decide what I think about her. The ruins of the king's tomb, lots of statues. I wonder what they are. I wonder if this is some old ancient heroes party, if these are a bunch of old kings or something. I don't know. I don't know. They have to reach the deepest floor of the tomb. She dislikes fighting, therefore everyone who reaches the bottom will pass. So there's no reason to fight with each other in this exam, other than for the purpose of future exams, right? If you want less people around in the future, um, which is interesting. It's interesting that she equates that to pacifism, alongside like the idea of the dungeon making you fight yourself as well. Uh, very interesting. Very interesting. Um, But yeah, no one has to fight each other. It's interesting, along with what Levine said in the last episode about them being enemies in this test, because they really aren't, right? They can work together, and teamwork, working together, is really the actually important part of this test, right? It doesn't really pit them against each other at all. They have to work together. You know, it's like the only way to defeat a clone of yourself, as we saw with Ubel, is you need another person, right? Or I guess, as she said, it all just comes down to luck. It all just comes down to things outside of your control, and luck was against her, right? Um, yeah, so it's very interesting. It makes you think more too about like her stance on the idea of being a first class mage as well, right? Hmm. Many adventurers have failed to return from this unexplored dungeon. Are you planning to fail all the test takers again? But of course, the test takers merely fail themselves, right? Yeah, you're attempting to reach the pinnacle of magehood. First class mages make the impossible possible. Yeah, yeah. You must forge ahead, regardless of whether or not anyone's been there before you. I wonder if this attitude, this idea of forging ahead where no one has been before, I wonder if that's why she starts taking more of a liking to Frieren's attitude as well, right? Because that's kind of in a similar vein in a way, right? Hmm. And she descends with them to the bottom. She gives them these bottles, the golem bottles, which are very cool. You shatter it, summons the golem, who lets you escape. Um, it makes sense that you fail if you shatter it, of course, obviously, but it's interesting that they give you it at all, that they give you a way out. You know, I feel like that the guy she was talking to before, the male test examiner guy, I feel like he would be so against the idea of giving something like this. You know, I feel like his attitude would be that, you know, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. that giving like this way out, it almost cheapens the experience in some way. I would imagine that would be his attitude about it. You know. Hmm. Yeah, I have no intention of allowing mages with promising futures to die here. Yeah, yeah. And they shatter automatically at dawn tomorrow. So there is a time limit, which is interesting because we have a significant amount of time has passed. Denkin said that it was like half a day already has passed that they were sitting outside, uh, where the Frieren clone is. So yeah, it can't go on forever. Um, I guess that's also good that they shatter automatically, so then anyone trapped can at least get out, right? They won't just be stuck forever. Like the guy, we get that shot of the guy who goes on alone at the start, just like sitting, kneeling in a room. I wonder if he's trapped or something. Hmm. So they all kind of form up their own groups again, of course. Like obviously they could all just travel together, right? That's the thing, right? Is they could all travel together and all make it through. And this guy has the opposite attitude about it. I can't agree to that. Unlike in the first test, our companion survival isn't a condition for passing the test. We're not obligated to help each other, and we even risk becoming someone's sacrificial pawn if the need arises. What a horrible attitude. What a terrible attitude, right? Like, God, he's so negative. Um, that is just a crazy way to view it, you know? That other people, you don't want to help other people at all unless you're obligated to do so, and he thinks like he has to be so full of himself and so sure of his own abilities, I guess. I don't think it leads him to a very good place because again, we get that shot of him later kneeling in a room alone. I don't think it worked out for him. Yeah, you in particular seem knowledgeable about dungeons. I'm going alone. And that like makes him distrust him because he seems knowledgeable, you know? It's interesting because it's kind of in the same vein as being like distrustful of like power, in that sense, right? Which like Dinkin agrees with in a way, like his attitude about power. He just takes it in such a different way, you know? Very interesting. So yeah, they kind of all stay in their same groups. Verbal still with these two. Dinkin. I'm surprised Richter sticks around, honestly. Frieren and Fern, since goes with them. Hmm. We travel through the dungeon. Frieren has a lot of experience with it, because Himmel loved dungeons. Which, obviously, the idea of a dungeon, it's kind of in the same vein. It's in the vein of things we've talked about, like, a bunch of times, right? Like, the idea of it's about the journey, right? It's about the journey. It's not about becoming a hero as quickly as possible. It's not about the end. It's not about, you don't want to focus on the end. You want to focus on the journey itself. That's something that Frieren needs to be able to do, right? So yeah, of course you explore the whole dungeon, right? Like, I don't know, when you're playing like a video game that has dungeons in it, of course that's like the normal attitude to have, right? You want to explore everything, right? If it's a game you really enjoy, you don't just want to rush to the end, right? Or at least if you do, I think that's such a sad way to like try and enjoy something, you know? Hmm. It was Himmel who loved dungeons. God, no, this is like actually so, they chose the wrong route. That could be the story progression. You don't want to go that way, right? I'm trying to think like what games I've played. Like I don't know, like Deltarune. I played Deltarune, right? Like that's a game that always makes me feel like that, how I always want to try and avoid going wherever I think is the correct way to go, right? You always want to explore everything as much as possible. Oh, what's another game? Oh, like Silksong, right? Like I played Silksong recently. That's another game that's totally like that, right? You always God, like you want to go everywhere, at least me personally, I want to go everywhere I possibly can before I go in an area that I think is like leading me further like down whatever the objective of the game would be, you know? Yeah, no, it's such a real attitude, right? Hmm. In a dungeon, one must explore the entire floor before proceeding to the next one. Exactly, exactly. Isn't it best to be able to have fun while helping people? God, this is a very interesting dungeon. Like this doesn't look like the floor of a dungeon. Honestly, this looks like the entrance, but I guess. As we travel, the dungeons will become more life-threatening, but even despite that, yeah, what's the point if you don't enjoy it, right? What is the point? Hmm. It might be a rare grimoire and the path left untraveled. Exactly. Frieren is like such a gremlin in these episodes. Man, Khan and Levine, off they go. And then it's these five. Oh, I should know her name. I don't remember her name. I don't remember her name either, but she's gone. She fails, sadly, unfortunately. Laufen, Richter, Denken. Hmm. And yeah, they could have all beaten it so easily. They could have all beaten the dungeon so easily if they just sticked together, right? Hmm. God, Richter's attitude is so interesting. This idea of pragmatism. I guess it's just like he felt so cold. He felt so cold in the first exam, because it was something that pitted them against each other. And I guess that's just how he is, right? He wants to try and take like the logical approach to this kind of thing. At least that's how that's what he tells himself, right? And I guess it is clear that in some way he is resistant to relationships and like I don't know, like his attitude towards Denkin before in the last episode, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. Richter is an interesting person. Only the smartest have remained. There aren't any idiots here to hold us back by falling for simple traps like mimics. I guess, yeah. I guess if they all went together, Frieren would have been very dissatisfied, right? They wouldn't have let her open this chest. They wouldn't have let her explore the whole dungeon. So they use this spell to try and see if it's a mimic or not. And the spell is only 99% accurate. So Frieren can't let it go. There's a 1% chance. Why even cast the spell in the first place then? Why even cast the spell in the first place? But you know what's weird is I kind of agree with her. I kind of agree with her that if there's a 1% chance that it's not a mimic, I guess you might as well open it, right? You might as well open it, but there could be something in there, right? Like, what's the point in life if you're not going for the 1% chance, right? Get eaten by a mimic. Like, come on. Historical discoveries have been made by great mages who recognize the remaining 1%. They sure have. They sure have. Now, what is the meaning by her getting eaten by mimics over and over again? Um, like, I don't know. I guess there's probably some stuff you could say about it, right? Like kind of like what I was just saying about her pursuing the 1%, right? And that in a way being like a positive way to view life, frankly, right? Um, but still, like, come on. And you would think she would be used to it by now. You would think she wouldn't be scared after all that she's dealt with. And you would think Fern would be used to getting her out of them by now. Like, come on. God, yeah, the so many terrifying traps in this dungeons. No like monsters or anything other than these gargoyles and the clones, right? God, these gargoyles are scary, right? Man. They're kind of like the clones. The clones look like they're kind of like made out of stone as well. But I guess they might just be like mana and just I don't know. This girl is trapped in the terrifying stone room, has to shatter the thing, the flask. Which every time someone does it, it's so interesting how. Well, the reason why it's interesting is because, like what I said earlier about how giving people the bottle, giving them that, feels like, in a sense, it could, like, almost weaken the idea of being a first class mage, because it lets people not die for it when they could be willing to do so, you know? But what's interesting, of course, is it's like all it's doing is giving them the option, right? Like, it's obvious. The fact that she was willing to use it here and not die for this, of course, when she has the option, right? Shows that, yeah, she didn't want to die to be a first class mage in the first place, right? It just kind of shows how stupid, I guess, the attitude of like people are willing to die to become a first class mage, and that giving it so much like prestige in and of itself. How like stupid of an attitude that is, because of course if people had the option to not die, they still wouldn't die for it. No one wants to die to be a first class mage, right? Like, yeah, yeah. God, these golems are fucking cool though, huh? It saves her. At least she's not dead, huh? Fern is using the wrong strategy. She has to push Frieren into the mimic, of course. Shoulda known, shoulda known. Normally she blows them up, but yeah, it makes her hair frizzy. I mean, hey, that looks pretty cool. That's some cool hair. Like you should wear it like that. God, this is a complicated dungeon. Huh? You can go down, you can go up, you can go left, you can go right. There's two more paths to go back. Like, man, they've really got to explore all of it. Jeez. She's God, Frieren is really the master at this, right? She's so proud of herself finding this hidden chest. Man. God, and the way Frieren like runs through this, she's so happy. She loves it so much. I'm sure it brings back so many memories of like being with Himmel and everyone too, you know? It's really something. It's really something. And here are all of her things. She has them all. Some faces we have never seen from Frieren before. So Sense has something to say to Fern. She's never seen a mage as skilled as her. At her age, yet I sense no passion or determination from her. I wonder. It's like we've had that idea before, right? Or at least kind of from Fern herself, like early on, the idea that she lacks some amount of passion or determination for magic, right? It's like what Siri said about Frieren too, that she lacked ambition. It's so interesting. It's interesting because it's like in my mind, I just think it's I just don't view it like that at all. I guess, right? I think Frierin's attitude about magic, to me, it is. I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by ambition. I guess just ambition means something different to everyone else, right? Like I don't know. I don't know, right? Or like to me, passion. I think Fern is very passionate about magic in a way because it represents kind of like this connection between her and Heiter and Frieren and all of these things, you know? It is so meaningful to her, like personally and emotionally. And I would say that is certainly passion, you know? Um, I would say the people who are passionate for magic in a way where they think they're just passionate for like the magic's sake in and of itself, they're probably, if anything, just like they themselves don't understand why they really care about magic so much, right? I feel like the reason why anyone would pursue anything like magic is always for some kind of deeper, like emotional or like relationship based reason. And if people think it isn't, they don't understand that, right? Like so many of the people here, I feel like want to become a first class mage, not because they care about magic so much, but because of the prestige and the idea of what it means to be a first class mage, right? And that is certainly, you know, that's so related to like your position in society, the way other people view you, all of these things, you know. Um, and I wouldn't say that doesn't mean they're not passionate for magic, right? Hmm. I became a proper mage to repay a debt to someone. That was my life goal at the time. I devoted all my effort to achieve it without considering anything that would come after that. I must have used up all my passion and determination then. That is such a sad, sad way to think about it. Why do you continue searching for magic? Miss Frieren seems to be having fun, doesn't she? Exactly, exactly. And that is a good reason. That is a good reason. Made her smile too. I think I continue searching for magic because I like seeing her happy. Perfect, exactly. The only reason you need to do anything, right? And Sense likes that reason, which is very, very interesting. Hmm. Ooh, so yeah, this is a shot. So this is a shot of the room where the clone Frieren is in, right? I wonder if this is we got like this crystal like shining, activating something. Is this like the clone Frieren being spawned in, I wonder, right? Because it seems like it just took like the most powerful person in the dungeon, right, and made a clone of them, right? Interesting, interesting. So here's where we see the clones for the first time. Yeah. They have to fight themselves. They have quite the drawn out battle. Man, it is really a test of their teamwork, right? Which is just what we want. And Dakin's group, they have to fight themselves as well. Shows how perfectly matched they are, right? Like the synchronized movements between them, and then with like Ubel in the next episode too, right? Hmm. A perfect replica. And they talk about the idea that there's memories and their personalities being copied too. But they don't have a mind. We learned that from what happens with whatever her name is, the hypnosis girl. I keep forgetting names. I don't know why I keep forgetting names today. God. There's too many names. I don't know. Too many names in this arc, huh? And they arrive, and it is the clone Frieren. Oh god. Oh god. I wonder how they're gonna deal with her, right? Like, God. Hmm. Talked about this, talked about this. The nature of the clones, right? The perfect replicas. Yes, yes, yes. Right, the Einsam. Showing Fern Heiter. I remember that. Copy their abilities, mana, skills. It's the reason the ruins of the King's Tomb remains unconquered to this day. So yeah, it certainly isn't the dungeon. It isn't the dungeon Sense normally uses. I wonder if she does a different one every time. Because I guess I just assumed that her cast is always like a similar thing. Because again, no one's ever passed it before. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just really overthinking a minute detail that that does not matter that much. I don't know. Certainly requires teamwork. Indeed, indeed. Hmm. God, and Frieren is terrifying. Yeah, no kidding. You should retreat, huh? God. So, like, stone cold and just. Man, she is scary, huh? And so here we God, Land is an interesting character. Land is such an interesting character. He seems so like manipulative in a way. Of like Ubel and with his clones and all of this. You know, it's obviously it's you want to try and draw some kind of connection between uh the stuff he does with clones and the clones that were like fighting in this arc, right? I guess I just don't really know how to connect the two. What it makes me think about Land wanting to always use clones for everything, right? Um, I don't know. There's a lot of things you could imagine could be like a personal reason for why he pursues that kind of magic, right? Like you could almost say that there's a sign of like low self confidence in a sense by wanting to always use clones, right? Or like another thing would be the idea of like not wanting to be injured, of course, right? That's why you use a clone, right? Like his clone died, and he would have died if this was him, you know. So like fear of that kind of thing, perhaps, you know. He is, yet again, another character who seems kind of closed off in a sense, and kind of like, he seems so guarded about himself. Obviously, partially that could just be because Ubel is like very openly attacking him in a way of like, oh, I really want to try and empathize with you so I can steal your magic, you know? So it kind of makes sense why he's being so guarded with her. But he seems like that in general, right? He seems like that in general. And the clones, him using clones so much, feels like an extension of that in a way, you know? It's very interesting. Land. Hmm. You're chatty during combat. It's like you die if you stop talking. Which makes sense. It makes sense that she would be like that because of the whole thing about her magic working with like this empathy connection, you know? Um Interesting, right? It's just the thing about Ubel is it's so hard to view anything that she ever says or does in like a good light because with the knowledge that we have now of her like wanting to use empathy as like a tool in order to like connect with people for her own benefit, I don't know. It's so hard to not just view her in like a villainous way, you know? Hmm. Got his golem bottle, except it's a fake too, right? Hmm. And so she specifically set this up to make Land to make it so Land would feel guilty if she died here, right? Like she does this to like make it feel like make him think that like oh she's gonna die like for my sake basically, right? So he shows up to save her, right? So even that's like such a perfect encapsulation of like what I mean about her behavior, right? Is like even that kind of thing is like just like manipulation from her, right? It's like very cold, calculated thing, you know? Ah, man. Hmm. God, some crazy animation in this fight, though. Some crazy animation, yeah. And it's like so yeah, they talk about like the binding magic, how they need the whole person in their vision for it to work, right? Um, What's interesting is it's like she uses like the downtime from her like casting it seems like, right? Like it's like an opening almost, right? How it's like the clone in this moment thinks it's like one, it feels like, you know, and it's like it kind of stops for a moment here, right? And that moment is what's used for Land to kill her. Very interesting, very interesting. God, Ubel really is a person, huh? Because I knew you'd come for me. Hmm. Yeah, you don't want anyone to die because of you. It's interesting how, like, he asks her, "Do you really think I'm that kind that he came to save her?" Right? Like he views that as like she would think that's him being kind, right? And she says no. And she says the reason you came, I guess, is you don't want anyone to die because of you, which is very interesting because it like turns it around and makes it like a personal thing for him, right? That he didn't save her for her, but he saved her for himself in some sense, right? Very interesting, you know? That's such a negative way to view it, right? Created a situation where my death would be your fault. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Wonder how close that empathy is getting, huh? We find the hidden room, of course, of course. I like this sequence with the hidden room, right? I like how and they do it without words, which I think is really cool. How um Frieren, it seems like she's like disappointed that what they find behind here isn't like a hidden magical grimoire or anything, right? But it's something that Fern finds so interesting, thinks is so cool, right? And of course, because of that, Frieren smiles. Frieren thinks it's cool too, right? I love that. It shows like the shared enjoyment they both get, right? How for Frieren too, the idea of her chasing magical grimoires is kind of a similar thing. How she just likes showing the magic to other people, right? Like it was that's why she collected so many spells in the first place. It's for that same reason, you know, seeing another person smile, right? Just what you need. It's just what you need. So we meet up with Dankin's group, and we gotta. This is how conquering a dungeon should be. We gotta come up with a strategy. Gotta come up with a plan for this Frieren replica. A perfect replica. That thing does seem to match my strength, right? But your strength is now connected to more than just you. You have the people around you, Frieren. Come on. So they think about using restraint or hypnosis magic. Frieren is resistant to both. Fern is really jealous. Methode, that's her name. Methode. So yeah, Frieren's resistant to both. So they can't use that. It doesn't have a mind, so they can't use hypnosis magic either. Which I guess they don't know that though, but I don't think that's going to be their strategy, of course, right? I guess just because they don't know, it's not like they're going to risk it. Yeah, Edel, that was her name. Yeah, and they are fighting Since's clone, which is God. They talk, yeah, they talk more about the idea of like using physical objects, controlling physical objects with your mana for combat rather than like magic itself or like conjuring things with magic, right? Which yeah, using a part of your body for it, using your hair for it is actually like such a that makes so much sense because it's something you always have. You always have your hair, right? It's not just gonna, it's not you won't be like Khan and stuck without water, right? Um so she uses her hair as a weapon, right? Which is like the perfect thing, right? And it seems very impressive to be able to like individually control all of that, must be crazy control. It must be insane. Hmm. Layers of magic cast on its hair. Yeah, yeah. Magic is a world of visual imagination to be able to manipulate the uncountably large number of threads we call hair. It must possess a superhuman imagination, making it a far greater mage than any of us. It is interesting that it's your imagination itself that is so important for being a mage. Very interesting. Hmm. She's scared and wants to go home. Yeah, I don't. Man, it's interesting how she doesn't though. They don't use their golems. They still decide to try. They still decide to try. Thank God she doesn't die. I hope she's not dead. I mean, she gets literally stabbed through the chest by this thing, right? When she tries to hypnosis it. So, man, I mean, she seems fine, right? The golem gets her out of here. God, the way her eyes like change when she uses it, it's very cool. Oh God, straight through her. Yeah. I mean, she's still able to speak, so I hope it's okay, right? Maybe it went like between her lungs perfectly somehow, so she's not like dying, right? Hmm. Yeah, interesting. We get little shots. Yeah, here's him. Here's that shot I was talking about of him kneeling here alone. Like, what even is this, right? There's like water. I wonder, is he lost? Maybe. Trapped? But it's interesting. If he's trapped or lost, he hasn't broken his bottle, right? It's like he doesn't want to just give up. Very interesting. Hmm. And Fern has a plan. Fern has a way to kill Frieren, which is very interesting. I wonder what it will be. I really don't know. This battle is very cool. It shows us how effective like using physical objects like this as defenses too, because it's like it kind of gets around that weakness of defensive magic, not being able to block physical objects as well, and it probably doesn't take nearly as much mana because it's just sitting there. Hmm. Brute force. Well, I guess we will have to see next time what Fern's plan to kill Frieren is, huh? Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm hype. I'm excited. Such a good 2 episodes. God, I wish I had the time to watch 3, right? I can't do that. I gotta go in like 30 minutes. So unlucky, I guess. Oh, I'm hype. We're getting there. We are getting there. Very cool. Very cool. How many more episodes do we have again of season? We have 25, 26, 27, 28. 4 more episodes. So yeah, we can do, if we do 2 more doubles, then yeah, 2 more weeks. And then we'll be on season 2. Very cool. Very nice. So yes, I suppose that is it. So if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next one.